What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. Today, we'll be continuing the highly popular what if Bardock and Gine survived. Last time, we concluded the Z portion of it, with a very different Buu saga. And as expected, following the Buu saga, we're going to be going into Super now, with a certain purple cat guy showing up. For this video, let's hit a like goal of 3,000 likes, and once we hit that, I'll continue with another part. Anyways, let's pick up from here. A few years have passed since part 4. We open up on the world of Kais. Using Namek's Dragon Balls, every other Kai has been revived, and together, the 4 Directional Kais, Kibito, and Grand Supreme Kai are meditating alongside Piccolo, their somewhat novice student. The meditation is interrupted. Grand Supreme Kai senses something, an awakening of someone he knew long ago. The other Kais all sense it too, as does Piccolo. Through what the Kais taught him, he quickly learns what's happening. There's no other way around it. It has to be Lord Beerus. Piccolo's training has been going pretty well, and he's made some great progress while also learning about the universe. The Kais have all taught him about Beerus and the multiverse as well, and Piccolo is stunned to hear that now, Beerus is once again awoken from his nap. But while he knows the technical aspects of Beerus, he doesn't actually know Beerus. Is he a threat? Should they all be concerned? Grand Supreme Kai reassures Piccolo he shouldn't really be of any concern right now. But Shin does mention one thing: Beerus has a temper, and as long as Beerus doesn't want something and isn't angered, he should be okay. Naturally, Piccolo is still a little bit worried, but the Kais all go back to their training. The God of Destruction stretches as he wakes up, with Whis greeting him after he returned from his long nap. It turns out Beerus hasn't really missed much. Frieza was killed, and then Buu was somehow defeated by people on Earth. And also the Kais appear to have a new student, a Namekian. And every Kai has returned. It's no longer just Shin and Kibito. What a boring few decades. But he is intrigued though. Frieza and Buu defeated. He asks Whis, who were the ones responsible for this? Well, Whis checks and it appears on Earth, there appears to be some Saiyans there. Beerus instantly perks up when he hears this. Saiyans, huh? That reminds him of a dream he had. We go back to Earth, specifically Monster Island. 17 and Ruta are outside, overlooking the area with their kid, their young daughter named Jade. 17 and 18's original names were Lapis and Lazuli, so I'm sticking with the rock theme for the naming here. I mean, a jade is a gem, but close enough I guess. Anywho, it's a pretty average day on the island. But they're then shocked to see a flash of light, and show obvious concern. They call for Android 16 to join them, as the 4 all fly over to see what just happened. 17 and Ruta draw their rifles, quietly approaching after they fly there. They draw closer and see 2 human-like figures, and the 2 then become clearer. These 2 aren't human. Guns definitely won't be enough if they are a threat, so 17 and Ruta put their guns away, as they approach the 2 mysterious visitors. That's odd, Ruta can't sense their ki at all. Could they be more androids? I mean, they definitely aren't human, that's for sure. Beerus then turns, and is happy to see the company. He instantly notices Ruta's tail and realizes she's a Saiyan. He and Whis introduce themselves, saying why they're here and why they pick Ruta specifically. It is pretty early in the morning, so everyone else is asleep, and Ruta was the first power that they sensed. And it seems that they struck gold. They actually did find a Saiyan. Beerus asks if she knows anything about the Super Saiyan God, and it turns out she doesn't, but she does know about Super Saiyan, and actually a level above that. She shows off Super Saiyan 2 to Beerus and Whis, and Beerus tells her to test that power against him. He wants a fight? Well, if he says so. Ruta lunges at Beerus. She keeps trying to punch, but she can't hit him at all. He's too fast. She considers draining his energy, but she can't. Without making any contact, she's not able to. He is a bit disappointed. I mean, if she were some sort of Super Saiyan God, she'd be able to keep up with his speed. But he does know other Saiyans exist on Earth. Maybe he can consult them. Ruta tells Beerus and Whis that she knows the other Saiyans. And since she's kind of intimidated by these 2, she offers to go get them. You know, to appease them so they don't have to move. Beerus and Whis are shocked to see her disappear as she uses instant transmission, leaving 16, 17, and Jade awkwardly standing there. How can they make conversation with a god and an angel? At his residence, Goku and his family are asleep. Well, besides 3 people, Bardock, Raditz, and Ox King. The 2 are just enjoying the early morning air, and watches as Raditz does hundreds of thousands of push-ups nearby, just so he can impress a certain blonde-haired girl who rejected him not too long ago. If he works out, he'll get her this time. Too bad that's not gonna happen, but he might as well get stronger. Ruta suddenly arrives and explains why she's here, but tells him not to worry. Bardock immediately runs into Goku's house to wake him, Goku, and Goten up, with them getting ready to go consult Vegeta and Trunks. Ruta returns to the island, and not long after, Goku and Bardock teleport in with the other Saiyans. And Bulma, she wanted to come along to watch. Vegeta seems pretty scared right now, trying to casually talk everyone out of it. Vegeta's here. How funny. But that doesn't really matter to Beerus. He wants to test out everyone's power. No one is able to contest with him, and just as he finishes up his final fight with Vegeta, Piccolo then teleports in. alongside Shin and the Grand Supreme Kai. Wow, it's been a long time since they've seen Piccolo. He looks good, but the Grand Supreme Kai tells everyone they've all been watching and they saw what's going on. It turns out Piccolo actually had an idea. He may know a way to find out about the Super Saiyan God. He explains, during his Kai training, he did have to research all the planets, and one of them that he particularly got interested in was Namek. I mean, what else would you expect? And with his interest in Namek, he eventually did find out about the Namekian Book of Legends. And although he hasn't really read it too in depth, he knows there's some stuff about Saiyans in there. He tells Beerus to hold off for now. He'll consult the book and tell him what he finds. This is actually news to Beerus, and he lets the Namekian do it. Using the Kai, which he learned, Piccolo then goes to Namek, as they all wait around, with some even trying to fight Beerus again. A few minutes later, Piccolo then shows up again, and he seems pretty happy. He's read the book and it turns out there is something about the Super Saiyan God in there, and how to achieve it. The Super Saiyan God isn't a person, it's a transformation. Well, from what he can understand. And the great thing, the ritual isn't even too hard. They just need 5 Saiyans to channel all their energy into one other Saiyan, and they have more than enough Saiyans here. Yeah, that's all great, but who do they use the ritual on? They all turn to Beerus, letting him decide. So, he surveys the crowd and points a finger out. His finger is pointed towards Bardock. From all of his fights, Beerus can tell that Bardock seemed the most impressive, although Vegeta and that Ruta girl came surprisingly close. But still no match for Beerus. Everyone agrees to this. Goku, Vegeta, Raditz, Ruta, and Gohan all channel their energy into Bardock. Unsure if the ritual will work, but it does. Bardock then descends from the sky with red hair. This is definitely what Beerus was looking for. They can't sense him, but Bardock can tell. This power is insane, unlike anything he can ever imagine. So Beerus gets ready to fight him. But 17 intervenes. He tells everyone if they're going to fight, do it away from the island please, just to protect the animals. Beerus chuckles. This machine mortal is pretty funny. He jokes about 17 being confident enough to tell a god of destruction what to do, and admires his personality. And he appeases the android's wishes. The group all flies towards the coast, as Bardock and Beerus ascend above the water. The fight itself is spectacular. Bardock still isn't a match for Beerus, but he's way better than he was before. Beerus mentions Bardock still has a long way to go, but he has hope that Bardock will be a great rival in the future. Bardock himself even grows during the fight, somehow obtaining the power of Super Saiyan God in his regular Super Saiyan form. Needless to say, Beerus is pretty pleased with this fight. Although he's not defeated, he's happy. And the two return to the island. Everyone's just cheering on Bardock, saying how awesome that was, except for Vegeta. He scoffs in the corner. But then Beerus interjects. He asks if any Saiyans want to come to train with him. He doesn't want to take too many, but he's willing to take some. It's better to have more than just one rival. Sadly, Ruta declines this. She doesn't want to leave Earth to train, and she could just get the ritual done here instead. She needs to look after her daughter, and she wants to stay with 17, protecting the island and such. Goten and Trunks obviously can't go, and Gohan declines, because, you know, work and such. But he can also just get the ritual done here, just like Ruta. And you know, on second thought, he could actually just train with her and 17. That could be cool. But luckily for Beerus, he's able to pick up 4 Saiyans, Bardock, Goku, Vegeta, and Raditz. That settles it then. He gives them a few weeks to get their things in order, with Goku having the most trouble because he has to run it by Chi-Chi, but they all eventually go to his planet with Whis. And while we're talking about gods, why not talk about the opposite end of the spectrum, as we go to Hell. Literally. In Hell, or Hiffle, whatever you want to call it, there's a new threat brewing. I'm not talking about Frieza either, no. A former villain waits there, watching everything that's going on right now. This villain awaits to make his return. And while on the topic of villains, Frieza is also trying to make his return. Or, at least his army is. Ruta, Jade, 17, Gohan, Goten, and Trunks are all on Earth training one day, alongside Android 18 and Krillin who joined them. Even some of the humans are there. With how often they visit the island, they're all pretty good friends. And 17 essentially has made everyone honorary rangers. Even some of their families have come out, they're all having a feast. But during this meal, Gohan then says he senses something weird. Ruta confirms this too, and they ask Android 16 to help. Android 16 has been upgraded many times by now. 17 and Ruta have done some upgrades, as well as consulting Bulma for some. He's much stronger, but also his features are stronger too, such as his ability to sense ki. It's essentially a very advanced scouter, so he turns it on. And he's able to detect there's multiple ships coming to Earth's atmosphere, and he's then able to patch himself into their radios. Listening in, just as he suspected, it's Frieza's army, and he tells everyone the location of the ships. Their keys are kinda weak and there's so many of them so it'll be hard to find everyone. So it's better to get to the ships before they land and spread out. Everyone grabs onto Ruta as she drops them off at different locations. On one of the ships, Sorbet sees what's happening, and he commands the army to attack, no longer wanting to remain stealthy. The good thing for everyone on Earth is that Frieza's army isn't really too strong right now. I mean, in terms of pure power, they never really stood a chance, but as of right now, they don't even stand a chance in terms of numbers. This is before Frieza's revival, so it's very disorganized and it doesn't have as many people as it should. The group is easily able to defeat the soldiers, as some try to retreat. Sorbet calls everyone back. They're not going to get the Dragon Balls. But they do have an idea. The ships quickly ascend into the air, as they all get into formation. Each ship appears to be armed with a weapon, a giant laser aimed right at Earth. Sorbet maniacally laughs. If they can't revive Frieza, they'll just destroy Earth. Lord Frieza would have wanted it anyways. On the ships, the lasers charge, and they're launched towards the surface. But they all explode midair. They collide with Android 17 and Ruta's barriers. The weapons themselves were actually pretty powerful. It probably would have destroyed Earth. But with the barriers in place, it essentially means that the Frieza Force just blew themselves up. The remaining forces that escape the ship are cleaned up by Krillin, Tenshinhan, and Yamcha. That was a pretty easy victory, and they could all return back to their feast. Good thing because they were pretty hungry. And just like that, Resurrection F was avoided. But as I mentioned earlier, there's still another threat looming about. Unaware of this, the 4 Saiyans on Beerus' planet all train, and naturally by now all of them have Super Saiyan God. Gohan and Ruta have done the ritual for themselves on Earth, and before those 4 Saiyans left for Beerus' planet, they had it all done on them too. They're learning some great things and growing stronger, and they're slowly coming to learn there seems to be something above Super Saiyan God. Maybe if Frieza's resurrection was successful, they would have used this power for good, but for now, they continue to pursue it. The next goal of their training is something called Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. Kind of a mouthful. This is sick. They'll have to show Gohan and Ruta it one day once they're back on Earth. But their return to Earth may be sooner than they expected, because things are about to go sour. Krillin, 18, and Marin are away from home one day, enjoying a nice vacation that Android 18 requested. In their hotel room, Krillin turns on the TV, and sees breaking news. The city that they were in got attacked. People heard explosions throughout. Krillin's jaw drops when he sees on the TV, his house is destroyed. Nothing else, just his house. Thankfully they weren't home and they could always replace that, but still. What could possibly be going on? The news describes it as some sort of terror attack, no accident. Naturally, news spreads. 18 eventually makes a call to Monster Island. Ruta picks up and is surprised to hear the news. 18 surprisingly sounds pretty nonchalant when she says her house was blown up. She's more angry than anything. But Ruta's confused. It wasn't any accident, it was an attack. Who could possibly want to target Krillin or 18? It's good that they were away from home, and they say they're going to remain here for now, at least until they get more information. Needless to say, Ruta's pretty concerned, so she asks if 16 can go analyze it and see what's going on. He agrees and heads over to the city, as Ruta then goes to tell 17. 17 is out on the island right now, and he sees an odd poacher. Oh great, another one of these. He fires a warning shot, but the poacher doesn't budge. He can't quite make out who it is. Maybe one of Frieza's goons who escaped. He draws closer in the forest to approach the person, with his gun ready, but he's surprised as he hears an eerily familiar voice. Ruta exits the house to go tell 17, and then she sees an explosion in the distance, near where 17 is supposed to be. And even worse, she senses power nearby. Wait, is it a single power or is it multiple? She can't really tell. But something about it seems bad, and familiar at the same time. She's paralyzed in fear as she sees in front of her, the same guy who killed her a few years back. And then, she's literally paralyzed, as she feels an odd wave of energy rush over her. This energy isn't any normal kind of ki or god ki even. It might not even be ki at all. The person she just saw turns and grins. In his hands, he holds a battered Android 17. Nice to see you again. It's none other than Cell. He's alive? How is he back and why is he stronger? Ruta gets it now. He's the one who attacked Android 18. But what does he want? And what is this power he's using? Well, we'll save that mystery for the next episode. So what do you think Cell's doing back? How did he get stronger and what's his objective? How do you think he even got back without the Dragon Balls? If it even is the same Cell. And also, what did you think of this part and what do you think will happen next time? Leave all your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'll be sure to check them out to see what you guys think. As always, if you liked the video, be sure to drop a like. And let's try to hit that like goal so we can get another part. If you haven't already, why not subscribe? As well as hitting the bell icon to get notified about any future parts of this What If or any other videos that I upload on my channel. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.